What if everything we've seen so far in the Apothecary Diaries was only the beginning? For 2 seasons, Mao Mao has solved mysteries, uncovered conspiracies, and survived some of the most dangerous political schemes in the Empire. But Season 3 is different. The story is about to leave the familiar comfort of the inner palace. New enemies are coming. New secrets are waiting to be uncovered. And for the first time, Mao Mao may find herself facing problems that even her intelligence can't easily solve. Today we're going to explore why Season 3 could completely transform the Apothecary Diaries and why the next arc might become the biggest turning point in the entire series. One of the biggest strengths of the Apothecary Diaries has always been its setting. The inner palace acts almost like a giant puzzle box. Every room hides secrets. Every servant knows something. Every noble has an agenda. And Mao Mao thrives in that environment. She understands how people lie. She understands poison. She understands patterns. She notices details that everyone else ignores. But Season 3 appears ready to move beyond that familiar world. Instead of palace-centered mysteries, we're likely entering a much larger political landscape. This changes everything, because once Mao Mao leaves the environment she understands, her greatest advantage becomes weaker. The audience has become used to seeing Mao Mao control situations through observation. What happens when she enters a place where she doesn't know the rules? What happens when the clues are hidden inside cultures she doesn't understand? What happens when the people around her are just as intelligent as she is? That creates tension the series has never truly had before. For most of the story, Mao Mao has been the smartest person in the room. Season 3 may finally place her in situations where intelligence alone isn't enough. And that's where character growth begins. Most viewers assume the next major conflict will be another conspiracy, a poisoning, an assassination attempt, a hidden enemy operating in the shadows. Those things will almost certainly happen. But I think the biggest challenge for Mao Mao may actually be emotional. Throughout the series, she has avoided becoming attached to people. She keeps others at a distance. She prefers logic over feelings, facts over emotions, analysis over romance. Whenever relationships become complicated, she looks for a way to escape. Whenever emotions become intense, she changes the subject. It's one of the reasons she's such a unique protagonist. Yet little by little, that emotional wall has been breaking, especially because of Jinchi. Every season has pushed them closer together. Every interaction reveals a little more about how important they have become to each other. And that's exactly why Season 3 could be so important. Because there comes a point when avoiding your feelings is no longer possible. There comes a point when pretending not to care becomes harder than simply admitting the truth. For someone like Mao Mao, that might be more frightening than any poison she's ever encountered. The relationship between Jinchi and Mao Mao has always been the emotional core of the story. But there is a problem. Jinchi has spent most of the series living between 2 identities. The charming palace official everyone sees, and the powerful figure hidden behind that mask. For years, he has been able to maintain that balance. But secrets become harder to protect over time. The deeper the story goes, the more impossible it becomes to separate who Jinchi pretends to be from who he really is. Season 3 may finally force that conflict into the open. And if that happens, everything changes. Not only for him, but for Mao Mao as well. Because being interested in a mysterious palace official is one thing. Being connected to one of the most powerful people in the Empire is something completely different. The political consequences become enormous. The personal consequences become even larger. Suddenly every decision matters. Suddenly every relationship carries weight. Suddenly every conversation can change the future. And that's exactly the kind of pressure that creates unforgettable stories. If you look closely, every season of the Apothecary Diaries has become darker than the one before it. The mysteries have become more dangerous. The stakes have become higher. The consequences have become more permanent. Season 1 focused on individual incidents. Season 2 expanded into larger political conflicts. Season 3 may take that progression even further. The story could evolve from palace drama into national-level conflict. And once politics reach that scale, nobody is truly safe. Characters who once felt protected suddenly become vulnerable. Alliances become unstable. Enemies become harder to identify. Trust becomes increasingly valuable. The world starts feeling larger, and a larger world creates larger risks. One of the reasons fans love the Apothecary Diaries is that actions have consequences. Mistakes matter. Choices matter. Information matters. Season 3 has the opportunity to push that idea further than ever before. The more influence a character gains, the more dangerous every decision becomes. That's especially true for both Mao Mao and Jinchi. As their importance grows, the number of people who want to use them also grows. Power attracts opportunity, but it also attracts enemies. That's a lesson history has taught countless times, and it may become one of the central themes of the upcoming season. Now let's talk about a theory. What if the entire series has quietly been preparing Mao Mao for something much larger than solving mysteries? Think about everything she has learned. Every investigation taught her something new. Every conspiracy revealed another layer of society. Every powerful figure expanded her understanding of how the empire functions. Every case forced her to see the world from a different perspective. At first, these events seemed disconnected. A poisoning here, a political scheme there, a hidden secret somewhere else. But what if they were never separate stories? What if they were pieces of a larger puzzle? What if every experience has been preparing Mao Mao for a future role she doesn't yet realize she's destined to play? That possibility becomes increasingly difficult to ignore, because truly great stories rarely waste character development. Every lesson matters. Every challenge matters. Every relationship matters. The writers have spent years building Mao Mao into one of the most capable characters in the series. The question is why? What is all that preparation leading toward? Season the 3rd of May finally begin answering that question. Perhaps not completely, but enough to reveal the direction of the larger narrative. And if that happens, fans may look back at the first 2 seasons very differently. Instead of seeing them as the main story, they may begin to see them as the setup, the foundation, the beginning of a much larger journey. Another reason Season 3 could change everything is the expansion of the world itself. The more locations the story explores, the more opportunities it creates. New cultures, new political systems, new rivalries, new mysteries, new threats. One of the most exciting aspects of any long-running story is the moment when the world suddenly becomes bigger than anyone expected. That moment creates possibility. Anything can happen. Anyone can become important. Any secret can change the story. The Apothecary Diaries may be approaching exactly that kind of moment. For years, viewers have become comfortable inside the palace. They understand the rules. They recognize the players. They know where the danger usually comes from. Season the 3rd of May take all those expectations and completely destroy them. And that's often when stories reach their peak. Because unpredictability creates excitement. Not random surprises. Not meaningless twists. But genuine uncertainty. The feeling that nobody knows exactly what comes next. The feeling that every episode could reveal something important. The feeling that the story is evolving. Those are the moments fans remember years later. My prediction is simple. Season 3 will not be remembered because of a single mystery. It will not be remembered because of a single twist. It will not be remembered because of one shocking revelation. It will be remembered because it changes the direction of the entire story. The palace will no longer be the center of everything. Mao Mao will no longer be just an observer. Jinchi will no longer be able to hide behind carefully constructed identities. And the relationship between them will become impossible to ignore. Everything we've watched until now may only be the foundation. The real story might finally be beginning. If that happens, Season 3 could become the strongest season of the Apothecary Diaries yet. Not because it has bigger mysteries. Not because it has bigger conspiracies. Not because it has more shocking twists. But because it finally forces every major character to change. And change is dangerous. People can solve mysteries. People can uncover secrets. People can defeat enemies. But changing yourself is much harder. Especially when the world around you is changing at the same time. That is why Season 3 feels so important. For the first time, it seems like every major storyline is moving toward a turning point. Every relationship, every secret, every ambition, every hidden truth. The pieces are coming together. And if the series delivers on that potential, we may be about to witness the most important chapter in the Apothecary Diaries so far. The mysteries may be larger. The politics may be more dangerous. The stakes may be higher. But the real reason Season 3 could change everything is much simpler. For the first time, Mao Mao may be forced to decide not just what she knows, but who she wants to become. And that answer could change the entire future of the story.